We're on. Okay. All right. How's everyone tonight? It's Bob. I'm back from Biker News Canada. We're doing a Friday evening live interview with a couple great people from British Columbia. So get on the chat, ask whatever questions that you have rolling around in your head. The shop is called the Hogs, and they're located in Sydney, British Columbia, not too far away from Victoria. So without any further ado, this is Ali and Dog.
Hey guys.
Hey.
I don't know why I like to do an intro.
Why not?
No real reason. So how are you guys today?
It's like being on stage. If you don't get them in the first 30 seconds, you lose your audience.
Exactly. Well, I can't believe I missed one step on that. I knew it wasn't right. I have to give a destination to tell it to send it to YouTube. Otherwise, it's got nowhere to send it to.
But we figured it out. And we're doing great.
How's the weather out there?
Wet.
It's wet.
Really stormy and wet today.
Yeah.
High wind. Yeah, it's really, I mean, we were hoping to get some riding done this weekend. Ain't going to happen.
It's very cold now. Wet. No good.
That sucks. How close are you to the mountains?
Well, the Malahat's not too far from here, but they're not really mountains. The mountains are in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Out here,
right.
You go farther up island, you can run into Mount Arrowsmith and stuff like that. But, you got to drive a bit. I mean, we got the Malahat. You can see it from here. So, we're not on flat ground by any means.
Right. See, I only ever went to British Columbia once so far in my life. Such a big country, right?
It's huge. Yeah. We had some couple of customers. They rode out from Montreal. They went all the way across, and then they kind of broke down here on Vancouver Island. So we had to help them out. But yeah, their story was really interesting about everything they had seen. It's a huge country.
Yeah.
Now, like I was telling you guys earlier, I don't usually do too many shops or businesses and do like the free advertising thing, but you guys had some cool stuff on a post and I saw it and it caught my eye. So here we are, and I think it's a great thing. I love small businesses. I own one myself, so you know what I mean? I understand how much, whatever it is, even if it's not people in British Columbia that are watching it right today, hopefully it'll get there, right?
Mm.
So I see you guys are offering a course on how to do some basic maintenance on your own machine, and that's what caught my eye.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's so many people riding bikes nowadays, and the problem is that a lot of these people they take the riding course, they get certified, they go through all the safety stuff, and then they start riding their bike, but they haven't got a clue what's going on underneath. Pardon my French, their ass.
Right. Yeah. And it's pretty important because some of those things that could go wrong could be, physically dangerous, right? So
yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, and a lot of the bikes that we get in there are things that could just be mitigated by better maintenance and people that can look after their bikes themselves. So if we can give them that knowledge to help them, stay out of the shop, not that we don't want them, but it's better for them in the long run.
Yeah. Well, at the course, they tell you to walk around your bike before you start anywhere. But how many people keep doing that after the first few months?
It's like the motorcycle and aircraft, same thing. Do a walk around, kick the tires, check things out.
Oh, see, we do have somebody here. Barbie has a condo in Kelowna, and she's from BC.
Excellent.
So we actually got somebody from your end.
Go Barbie.
Thanks, Barbie. Yeah. So how long's the shop been in existence?
Well, I've been doing mechanical repairs and stuff like that since I left the aircraft industry for about 8 or 9 years, doing a few little things just on the side, mostly generators and sometimes the odd motorcycle and stuff like that. But it wasn't until Ali and I kind of met up, and after we started just getting to know each other a little bit, we found that we both had training in diverse positions, shall we say.
Yeah. So Dog's been working on motorcycles for his whole life. He's an aircraft engineer, so he was doing that for most of his working life, but always tinkering on motorcycles on the side. And so when I met up with him, he's got this little side hustle doing motorcycles, and I I said, because I have expertise in design and people skills,
Nice.
I said maybe we could team up and make it into more of a full-blown shop. So that's what we did. So
Yeah. So she just grabbed it and she just put new life in it, and she started taking care of the
You
brand.
just needed the two things to come together, and away it went.
It was like French fries and ketchup. Bang, right there.
Perfect. Now, how long you been riding, dog?
51 years.
Nice.
I started riding when I was very, very, very young. All right.
Now, are you, Allie? You ride?
I've been riding for about 10 years.
Nice.
Which, dog here taught me how to ride. But I always had an interest in motorcycles. But then, my grandfather rode and all that kind of stuff. And then he's like, well, why don't I just teach you to ride? And I said, okay.
Yeah,
so I really liked it.
And then sometimes I get her to test ride some of these little monsters that come in, like a Ducati Street Fighter. Okay.
Yeah.
That thing, you pick a gear and you disappear real quick.
Yeah, so I mostly do all the test riding.
Yeah. She's pretty small, and you get her on a 1200 cc Ducati Street Fighter, and all kinds of go and no whoa whatsoever.
That's why they put those big calipers on them babies.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't stop it. Okay, you might lock up the wheels, but you're still going to be going.
Yeah. The inertia gets you. Now, from the name of the shop, the average person would think it's mostly Harley Davidson's because it's the Hog name. But you guys do more than that, right?
Oh yeah, we do all kinds of stuff. We get a very diverse group of people that bring us bikes, and as I was saying before, a lot of times we'll meet up with these people, will buy these really cheap bikes, and then they start cutting stuff off it and they turn it into a rat bike, and then they find out that they can't get it to run. They bring it to me, and they say, do you want to work on this? Not really, but anyway. Okay.
Kind of our motto is to never turn anyone away.
Yeah.
Because everyone's bike is special to them, and
Give them a try.
Yeah, but
give it a shot.
The Hogs is mostly because we ride Harleys and
Sure.
have a love of Harleys, but it's all encompassing.
We've got a lot of brothers and sisters out there that ride Hogs and stuff, so we're there to help out when we can, if we can. But we do get a lot of Japanese, I call them rice rockets or rice burners or whatever,
Metric,
we get a lot,
them.
and we meet up with a lot of them. And people, like I said, people need to understand what's going on underneath their behinds.
Yeah,
They really do. Now, how is that course? Want to walk us through it, like how in depth it gets, how long it goes, and all that stuff?
Well, Allie would be the one to tell you about that.
Sure.
She actually designed it. So
yes. So I have I've been teaching in university settings for a long time, and I noticed this sort of gap in knowledge with people and their motorcycles, and just thought maybe there was a way that we could offer this to them. So I've been working with Dog to develop a bit of a curriculum. It's we've got like a basic package and a more advanced package to kind of meet different needs for different riders. But you can take both of them if you want, doesn't matter. So it kind of just walks you through step by step from the basics of this is a motorcycle and this is how you put it together, and then gets more into like the specific systems within the motorcycle. So like electrical systems, the engine, the carburetor.
You'll get right in there, eh?
Yeah.
Like more than just an oil change and how to get it running if the battery's dead.
Yeah, it'd be more of a comprehensive overview of the bike.
I was about to say, if you notice my eyes blinking a lot, I just finished having cataract surgery, so they're driving me crazy.
Is the screen bugging them?
No, it's just I couldn't see before, and I still can't see.
Well, hopefully that changes. It's got to be hard to fix bikes on sense of feel.
Well, I could do that.
Very good at that, though. I mean, you'd be amazed at like just the use of just basic senses. You can hear things that I don't know how we can hear them.
There's a really old school.
It's very old school.
Old school,
Yeah.
A lot of. And then, of course, a lot of my university training and stuff like that teaches you other things.
See, I fix things for a living also, and half of what I do is I listen for a click on the thermostat, and then I listen for a click on the gas valve, and yeah, it's kind of how I fix things too. It's not always by your ears.
That's not always by your ears, no.
I think it's a lost art, though.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
It is a lost art, because you look at a lot of the techs nowadays with a lot of the dealers and stuff like that. These boys, don't get me wrong, they're very good at what they do. They went through a lot of training to get where they are, but they don't have old school technology.
Did you bother going up to that thing at Fort Mac and all that?
I'm sorry?
Did you bother going to the course at Fort McMurray and all that stuff?
No, I didn't.
No.
I went through different venues, but the most of the guys, like in the dealers, I mean, they're very good at what they do, but you have to remember that they were taught to work on newer models, fuel injection, electronic ignition, all this type. Okay, all this type. You're looking at, the timing systems, the ignition systems, whether the wave spark or Hall effect or whatever. The point is that that's what they were trained in. They didn't get the training for old school, and old school sticks with you from childhood on. And it's hearing, it's seeing, it's feeling. It's a whole lot of different things.
But in their defense, I mean, the more we're manufacturing motorcycles, the less we're making them like the old bikes. So I mean, it makes sense to evolve with it, but there are a lot of old bikes out there that need people that know how to,
Well, that's the thing. Like an old bike, you don't ever have to throw a motorcycle in the garbage unless it's been in a crash and backed.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And even then, you can craft off parts and put on new ones.
Sure, yeah.
Really.
And then, with you being an engineer, what kind of stuff were you doing in the aircraft world? Were you doing like the engines or the structures?
Turbine specialist.
Oh, so you're like really, really good in like being a millwright and on the lathe and all that stuff.
Small things, spinning very fast, usually stuff like that.
That's very cool. I got a friend of mine down here in London, and he put superchargers on these baggers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can do that too.
And I think they're basically all basic, somebody milled all the parts themselves.
Well, superchargers are generally belt driven. There are some out there that were actually electric motor driven. Not actually off the crankshaft, but it was quite a sophisticated system. And then you got your turbos, okay, which are exhaust driven with wastegates and whatever, okay.
Yeah, the turbos run off the exhaust and
right.
all that stuff. They suck more gas, kind of.
Pretty much. That's all they're good for, sucking more gas.
And then basically, I only ever had bikes with my first bikes were Evos, so they were all carburetors.
Yeah.
And then, I've owned a few twin cams. I've never gone anything newer than that.
Yeah. Well, Evos, an Evo is an engine. You can hammer as much horsepower out of that thing as you want. They were a very, very strong motor. All right. A lot of them didn't have the problems like the twin cams. Some of the twin cams had really soft cranks and they'd twist them or they'd bend them or they'd go out of shape or they'd get, out of round or whatever. And the Evos weren't like that. They were just really strong motors. And
that timing belt tensioner thing was a big problem in those twin cams.
Well, the timing changed with the cam chain tensioners and stuff.
That's what it is.
That's a bad design.
Yeah, it was just a bad thing.
It is. I try to convince people, if the crank has less than 2 thou run out, pop a set of gears in there because you set it, forget it, you don't have to worry about it anymore.
Now, the guys, when they built my 110, I was telling you earlier, I had a 110 stroker back in the day, and everything was homemade, and the motor came from Detroit and this and that, and it was made for drag racing. It had a little inspection plate you could drop. So we knew it was going to go fast, and then when they gave it to me, get nothing out of it. I took it to 3 different guys, and finally the oldest guy I found that I still knew, he just passed, old Billy Barr, that fixed motorcycles. He moved the cam breather gear over one tooth, and that was the way we went.
That was it. Yeah. You can move the actual the cam gears. You can adjust them a little tiny bit. There is some leeway in there, but it's usually stuff like that. It's usually you sort of you play with them. You learn the motor. If you're listening, the motor will teach you.
I had a guy spend a week rejetting the carburetor up and down and sideways, and it's like, it can't be the fuel, man.
No. Usually the fuel doesn't usually have a nasty hole in it, but sometimes they do.
Yeah. But, that was the other thing that bike told me was ethanol gas and rubber gaskets on the intake don't go well together.
No. No, don't go that. No. That's like trying to put trimethyl pentane inside your fuel tank. Bad move.
Now, what about the percentages? Like here in Ontario, all the pumps say that there's a certain percentage. Is there a percentage that's okay or not? Nothing?
You know, I mean, there's still they're still putting percentages in there, especially like with co-op out here. And there's a little bit of ethanol in there. I mean, my Decker that's 120 cubes. Okay, she doesn't really bother with it much. You know, I mean, she'll ping once in a while, but that's about it.
But there's not those O-rings anymore. Is it a hard gasket?
It's a hard gasket now.
It makes a difference, doesn't it?
It does make a difference.
Yeah. That's what he did with mine. He pulled off my intake and gave me one that would take hard gaskets and never had to worry about it again.
You can also get special neoprene gaskets that are not affected by alcohol or ethanol and shit like that.
Oh, that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
So do you build customs as well?
I built a couple of customs myself many years ago, but I haven't done anything recently.
You recently made a small electric mini bike, though.
Yeah, and we call it Wally.
It looks like Wally.
And it's got a little brushless motor on it. It's a mini bike. It's got lithium polymer battery packs. It's got an electronic speed control, and it's only big enough to haul her butt.
And it works.
It'll take her 40 kilometers down the road.
And I mean, when he's saying that he doesn't do custom things or hasn't made a custom bike, he customizes everything. So the effort is always there to make something more powerful and faster. It doesn't seem to matter what it is, even if it's just a bicycle.
Hey, I'll supercharge a lawnmower if you let me.
You would do that. In fact, he has done that.
Just for the hell of it, just to see if it can be done. Yeah.
I kind of think that Dog's sort of superpower is to make things more powerful and kind of just cooler all the way around, just new exhaust systems. We do a lot of that kind of stuff. So
and don't think they don't do grenade, because sometimes they do grenade.
See, my father was a mechanic, a car mechanic, and he drag raced. So I know exactly where you're coming from. Because even the grocery getter that he gave my mom to drive had a 460 in it.
Right. That's a pretty big pump.
Because, you got to get to the grocery store in a hurry, I guess.
That's a lot of pump to take to the grocery store, let me tell you.
Make it a lot faster.
I mean, that thing has got, they'll pass everything but the garage,
It was the 70s Ford Cougar. It was all front end and no trunk.
Yeah.
Cool.
That sounds about right. I had an old Oldsmobile with a Rocket 350 in it.
Yeah.
We just pumped her up a little bit. Man, I'll tell you, that old girl, you step on that throttle, she just pick up her dress and she's gone.
Yeah, we had one of them in the driveway. We probably had one of everything in the driveway.
They performed some really smoke shows. I mean, the old micro brake lock system, you push your brake pedal, flip it up, and then drop your brake pedal, and it locks your front wheel. So you sit there and smoke all day long.
Right.
As long as the tires last.
I think that's what happened to the grocery getter. I did a brake stand for like a half an hour, and all of a sudden I was helping my dad change the transmission. And that wasn't no fun.
No, of course not. Never.
That wasn't no fun. So like I said, the reason that you guys caught my eye is I get the impression you guys do more than just being a business. You're involved with the biker community out your way.
Yeah, we try to be involved as much as possible. As a matter of fact, you'll notice on our website we have a mobile shop coming soon.
I saw that.
We've been working on this monster for a year and a half, and to make it just right, because if this mobile rig, it's basically a 1-ton U-Haul truck that's
right.
been converted over. The actual inside the actual box itself, we have almost $100,000 invested in that box.
Wow.
Because now it doesn't have a roll-up door anymore. It's got a drawbridge on the back that kind of goes like this.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Fully hydraulic. So
right
you can just ride the bike right inside. You hit a button, the hydraulic jack lifts it up. You change your oil, you change the plug, you do what you have to. You drop the ballast, pull her out.
No barking. Okay. Sorry, my dogs are getting ready to go for a walk. Hey, do you want me to pop your website up?
Yeah, sure.
Sure you can.
I may as well. Share that screen. That one, absolutely. Boom. So, yeah, go ahead and explain it if you want. Just tell me to scroll down when you want me to scroll down.
Okay. Yeah. I designed the website, so I'll walk you through it. Basically, the splash page on the front just kind of identifies the services that we do. So first and foremost, we do motorcycle repair and servicing. This mobile shop coming soon has been up there for too long, and we're desperately trying to change that. So like we were just talking about.
Pushing it to the finish line.
Yeah, so we're almost done. It's by the end of the year for sure.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So you can scroll down if you want.
That's a big investment you put in there.
It is.
It's more than we expected.
It's a lot more than what we expected.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But it's a way of connecting definitely with the community, because a lot of people live in Victoria and it's a bit of a commute out to Sydney, but we're trying to cultivate a little community out in Sydney with a couple other little bike shops and stuff. So it's all.
Well, you might attract some off-road people too.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
We get all kinds of things. We get a lot of enduros. We recently got an ATV, so that's why right there on the website, we do other engines and machines too. If it's got wheels, we'll work on it. Basically, challenges accepted daily. We've also recently expanded into offering a small amount of motorcycle storage because a lot of people out in this area, they just don't like to ride during the winter season because it's wet.
Yeah.
So we'll look after it. We'll start it up every so often, make sure it's healthy.
That's good.
You can scroll down. What else?
I've had a winter here. It was so mild that I didn't even touch the bike, and I jumped on it in the spring and hit the button and went for a ride.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, we kind of just make sure that it's stored properly, because sometimes it doesn't work out like that. But we just try to mitigate any of those problems. So we're also, well, at least Dog is very good at sourcing out the most random ass parts, particularly because we work on a lot of older bikes, really eclectic things. So we put this out there that if anyone's looking for parts, we can usually find them. So we kind of just try to reach out or give back anyway. Another thing we've recently started doing is use motorcycle inspections. So a lot of the people that we get coming into our shop are people that have just bought a used bike and the bike is no good. So
I think that's a great service.
Yeah, I've been really trying to push it more because I think it's so valuable.
Rather than buyer beware.
Well, not only that,
yeah.
but it's also the mobile unit was designed with this in mind as well. If someone wants to buy a bike and they're not sure about it, they could call us. We could come out with a mobile rig, load the bike into the truck, do an inspection for them right there on the spot, print it out, give them the copy and say, okay, this is what you're thinking of buying. This is the do's and these are the don'ts.
Because sellers will kind of tell you whatever they want to sell the bike.
Of course. Yeah.
Have it just working enough that you can maybe take it for a test ride and then it kind of blows up and then we get it. And usually these people are pretty upset. So, we're trying to push this that get someone to look at your,
like before you buy it.
Before you
throw down your hard-earned cash. I mean,
it's hard to know. Like the last one I bought was not only because it was a lot of money. It was $12,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the first place I took it was to the guy whose shop I use in my city. He was smoking. He stored it for the winter, then went over it in the spring. But the money, it was already gone.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like too. I mean, a lot of times people will buy a bike that they really like, but it's too small for them. It's too underpowered. And, and then if they call us for an inspection, we can tell them this. This bike's good, nice little guy, but
they won't last.
How do you politely say to someone, "You're too big for the bike"?
Right.
Well, just it won't last, right? Because you kind of evolve as you ride.
So you have to be careful.
Yeah.
No, I think that's a really, really cool service to offer people.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one is a big one for us. We do a lot of pickups and drop-offs because, we realize a lot of people's bikes don't run. And it's really difficult to transport a bike that isn't running. So we've got a nifty little truck fully covered that we can, we've got a winch system in it and a motorcycle chock. So it just pulls the bike in and we can take it or bring it back to the customer for
we can take 1,100-pound Harley and actually pull it right into the van because we got a ramp and we get the winch and it pulls it right in. So we just strap it down and away we go.
Perfect. So you're not worried about falling down and denting anything. It's good to go.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it. We talked a bit about the motorcycle maintenance classes. Those are starting in November. We kind of do them every second month during the winter season because that's our slow season for repairs, which we would wish wasn't slow because we tend to think, come into the shop, get your bike ready for the spring instead of waiting until spring and then it's busy. But it tends to be our slow season.
And then, if people in the springtime, they wait till the spring and then everybody comes to us. all I want to do is we got so many people coming. I want to run into the bush and cry.
And then they're wondering why it's going to be 3 weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So
But
you
yeah.
guys do a newsletter too, eh?
we do newsletter. I try not to, spam email everyone, every week or every 3 days. I kind of just put out a newsletter whenever something, of particular interest is up, like our classes or whatever. So yes, please subscribe because it'll update you. But we do have a lot of stuff on social media. So we've made a lot of really interesting videos posted either on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube. We do a lot of kind of like repair videos or interesting things that we've got going on in the shop. So there's other ways to subscribe to us.
Oh, so you've already got that going.
Yeah. We've got a lot of and also Dog he's a veteran, so we offer a small discount for vets and first responders, just because we get a lot of first responders for some reason. So we thought we'd give back to them. And just,
a lot of firefighters and vets and
police
cops,
officers.
stuff like that,
Yeah.
I mean, everybody likes a little kickback. Come on.
Yeah. And they do it.
Why not?
Because if you get all of them, man, it was well worth that 10% or whatever it was,
It goes a long way. You get a lot of mileage out of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like right now in the shop, I've got an 83 FLH. This thing's just a bone shaker, okay? It's a shovel head.
It's like an 82.
It's 83. 83. It's a shovel head. It's just a 1340. This guy bought it. He paid too much money for it. And when he brought it to me, I had to do a bunch of engine work to it because, I mean, the primary was making so much noise you could hear it from Sacramento, California. It was bad.
It was busted, everything. I felt so bad for this guy.
I got it running really good for him, and then he was using it for a while, and I guess he pushed her a little too hard. I warned him about the tranny that was.
Oh no!
And then the tranny went, so we had to pick it up, bring it back in. I had to rip apart the tranny, get that fixed. And now I'm putting it back together now. But, like I said, at 83, that thing's a bone shaker.
But they were like so dedicated to fixing that bike. So we're following through with that.
And people are kind of going nuts over the shovels now because, how many pans are you going to run into these days, right? Or for a price you can afford.
That's right.
And stuff like that. So now they've gone to shovels, I noticed.
That's right. And a lot of people are buying old bikes because they got a lot of character.
Right.
They're proven. Old bikes are proven. I mean, you get the old CB 750 Hondas. You can't kill a Honda.
Got a good sound.
You just can't kill a Honda. I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, that thing will run. It reminds me of a Scotsman. It'll run out of spite.
Yeah. But no, you're right. Those even the older Japanese bikes, they're known to just keep on ticking.
You can hit them, beat on them, do what you want, and they'll just say, "Do it to me again."
Yeah. And the worst that happens is you got to rebuild it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anything is fixable, provided you have enough money to fix it, I guess.
Why you're stupid enough to throw the money.
Right. How much? And I was always that guy. Keep throwing some more money, and it'll be better.
Yeah.
Eventually, it is.
And so that's the thing is, and training people. I think that to us that's a real big one because, like I said before, so many people out there are riding, and they haven't got a clue what's going on underneath them. And they really need to know, especially the ladies. The ladies are out there, and they need a little bit of knowledge to
do you guys find it being in BC, because you guys don't necessarily get snow until the northern part of the province in the winter. Do you find that there's more people you think who use a motorcycle for an everyday commuter rather than buying a car?
There are because fuel prices are so expensive.
It's an expensive province, so a lot of people.
Yeah, I know. Last time I went to BC, I couldn't believe what you guys do for gas.
So there's so much. I mean, so many people out here in motorcycles. I mean, you get a small motorcycle, you toss an oily rag under the tank, and it will idle for 20 minutes on it because they just like to smell it.
Yeah. No, you may as well. Like I said, I was talking about that with other people too. When you get into Europe and India, and even down in the Caribbean, you'll see a motorcycle go by an Enduro with a whole bloody family on it, and they're going somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that's their commuter, right?
Yeah. It's less in the winter season, but they're still ride year round.
Yeah. See that was the thing. See when I was in BC, I wasn't into bikes. It always seemed they had cool places to ride to out there too.
Yeah.
Vancouver Island is great for riding.
It is. It is. I mean,
so much.
You can rack up a lot of miles on the island here.
Yeah.
And there's so many diverse places to go.
Yeah. So many
Nice.
routes and loops, and it's not like heavy with traffic either. It's nice. I shouldn't be giving away all our secrets though.
No.
Yeah, everyone will be moving out there. I think the only reason that we're not all moving out there because I was packing up my shit in London after 1 week, and I was like, I'm gonna go out there, and then I met a girl and stayed. Because that's how life goes, right? But
Pretty much. Yeah.
it's the only reason we're in. Of course, me and the girl never stayed together, but it was what it was. But the price of living out there, especially in the cities, is pretty crazy. Eh?
Oh, it is.
That's
It is.
nuts.
The price. Yeah.
No.
That's the only problem with BC is the island and stuff. Is that in Vancouver things are expensive, but even out here it's even more because you got to ship everything out here.
Oh, right.
There's all the shipping costs to bring everything out. They have tankers, fuel trucks, groceries trucks, you name it. They got to bring everything out here. So of course the price is higher.
A little bit, yeah.
No joke, dopey tripod. Crossing Canada on a motorbike is awesome. It would be to get from one side to the other. That'd be like the best, wouldn't it?
It's a long trip.
It's a long trip.
It's worth it though.
But
you can't plan that to be a week or two. You got to take the summer off.
Yeah. I mean, you got to take the summer off. And I mean, I hate missing a good thunderstorm. We used to get those in Winnipeg all the time.
Oh, you haven't always lived out in BC, eh?
No. I'm a Winnipeg boy.
I grew up in Vancouver, so I'm not originally from the island, but close enough.
I got smart and left.
Right.
Before the horseflies got any bigger.
I remember once stopping at the Greyhound bus station in Vancouver. And I was like, holy Christ, Winnipeg. I was like, geez, let's not go back through Winnipeg ever again. That must be right downtown in the hard part of town. Who knows when you're on a Greyhound, right? So what, do you guys do like weekly bike rides and stuff and have riding groups and shit like that?
Not really. We don't really have a lot of time for that because we get so much work coming in is that, the thing is that, by the time my day is finished, the last thing I want to do is ride.
Well, that's it. There's so many hours in the day, right? Sorry, Ellie.
Is to expand into that. So we have a very small shop right now. So we're looking to expand into a bigger.
Yeah, we want to get
facility.
a much bigger because right now the shop we have right now is great, but it's so small. I got to go outside to change my mind.
Yeah. So
so
once we have a bigger space and we can like bring people in, have them sit down for coffee, and they plan a ride for whatever the weekend. They can use our shop as location to start and stop. But that's in the cards. But right now we're still pretty new putting everything together and getting momentum.
Can't do everything in one day, right? Like there's one there's a shop from Peterborough in Ontario that I follow. I don't know him personally. I'm gonna have him on for an interview. I'm trying to just keep these interviews for content going through the winter, right? Mm-hmm. Usually I don't do like a bunch of news unless it's already on the internet and it blah, 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 got arrested and blah, 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 got killed. That's basically all there is for biker news.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been dedicating more of my time to like the riding clubs that do charitable work and stuff like that for the whatever community they're in.
We like to take part in the toy runs and the cancer, prostate cancer runs, like that. That's what we do and stuff like that. We get involved with that stuff too. When, of course, we have time. But
there's only two of you.
There's only two of us, and it's a small it's a small, very active shop, and it's growing in leaps and bounds.
We do have,
man, that's cool.
Yeah, we do have an auxiliary mechanic that works with us sometimes too, though, because it is getting bigger.
He's
awesome.
He's a retired motor vehicle department inspector, and he's been in the automobile business since Moses was a little boy. So, and a lot of the times if I get bogged down, I'll just say, hey, Gerb, you want to do this for me? I can't handle this thing. He said, yeah, bring it over. So I'll just drop it on his shop, and he'll go and do it for us. And then we square up with him, bring the bike back, send it to the customer. Customer's happy, and he goes tootling off his way, and everybody's happy,
And you don't have to second guess his work.
No, I've known Gerb 40 years, and this guy, I'll tell you,
he crosses his T's and dots his I's.
Yeah, not like me. I don't dot my I's. I don't cross my T's. I just write my ear.
You just get her going.
I just get her going, you know.
Yeah, man.
I don't time for, you know, the
Fancy stuff.
fancy
But
stuff.
when you get other facilities, right, you can do more stuff. There's another shop in a town called Bradford, and similar to you, he teaches people how to work on their own bikes, but he'll also rent them some shop space and the tools.
Yeah, we don't do that.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
I don't like people touching my gear. You know, I mean, I make my living with those tools, so I mean, I don't want people messing with
But
my
they'll
gear.
store their bikes.
But we'll service the bikes and we'll help them and we'll pass on whatever knowledge we can. If someone's broke down and they need a little help and they need to work on their own bike, maybe we'll go that route. But
Yeah.
like I said, you know, if we have once we have a bigger shop, then it won't be such a big deal.
I would have a feeling because I know even my dad was like that. Nobody was allowed in his toolbox. That was it,
Yeah.
except for me, right? And if I didn't put it back where I found it, I heard about it. But you would think you probably had the customer tools and his tools. That's the way you'd have to do something like that.
Well, the thing is, I mean, with us, once we get a brick and mortar shop, I don't have a problem putting together a
Bigger
small toolbox, sitting
Yeah.
in the corner, customer use only. All right. You want to use the tools, put a deposit on it. If anything's missing, it comes out of your deposit.
And then there's a YouTube guy, and he's in a lot of the chats that I'm in from America. And he's called Dr. Harley, and he's got a YouTube channel. So if you start doing YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and actually work on the bikes that are in your shop, and there's only so many hours in a day, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You know, well, there's you know, there's a lot of guys out there that they're very good at what they do.
Mhm.
You know, there's a lot of guys out there, they're Harley techs, and they're very good at what they do. And a lot of them don't want to work for the dealer because the problem with the dealer is that the dealer tells you what to do. You can't.
Right. So you can have a whole day of oil changes and getting oil up to your elbow.
Mm.
Because you can't do an oil change without getting oil up to your elbow.
Not usually.
It
It's pretty messy.
just don't work that way.
No, it doesn't. We're just a small shop trying to make a difference.
No, I think that's cool. Like I say, that's kind of why I brought you guys on, you know, to have a chat and see if we can get the word out a little bit or whatever, right? Or maybe just have a chat, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, we love to talk about what we do. We love to talk to people about how we can help and assist and make their lives a little bit easier.
Yeah, and we just like motorcycles. So like we just want to be around people that like motorcycles.
Yeah.
Right. It's all like-minded people and all that.
I
Like
mean,
I say,
I'm just dying to take a single stage 250 Allison and stuff it into a gold wing frame. Talk about Y2K.
that wouldn't fit, would it?
That would be really fun. That would, you
Do you
know.
think it would fit?
Oh,
Really?
you can put it in there. Yeah.
Well, you're an engineer. You can make anything fit into whatever.
Pretty much. It's limited by my imagination, which is not limited.
And if they did the Boss Hog with the V8, I guess that shows pretty much anything's possible.
Oh yeah, sure much.
Some
I mean, the
crazy
Boss
things out
Hog
there.
wouldn't have a chance against an Allison single stage. No way.
Right?
How that thing spools up, you're talking, 90,000 RPM. Goodbye.
Wow. Wouldn't that be crazy? What was that movie with that the fastest Indian or whatever?
Yeah.
You'd be down there at the salt flats.
Oh yeah. Just
That'd be cool.
you even get a chance to wipe the tears from your eyes.
Do you do all that stuff? Where's the riding to from your end of the world? Did you cross over and go to any big events in the States and shit like that?
We haven't been to the States yet.
No?
No, we haven't had time.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of nice runs like down through Winthrop, or if you go down the Oregon coast, a lot of people ride out to Sturgis. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we'd
there's
love
just
to
so
go.
much nice riding on the island that it kind of.
We got some
nice.
friends that want to do the Oregon Coast run next year, so we're probably gonna, fire up our machines and just say, all right, let's go, move.
Right.
Yeah, I mean this summer we did go to Calgary, and there's a couple. There's basically like two routes you can take. One that kind of goes up through the Rockies, and then one that kind of comes down like along the U.S. border, and they're both very very different,
And
and they're beautiful. So
and the Duffy Lake Loop is a really good run. We've done that a couple of times. That's quite nice.
it's just all the mountains. So
Yeah.
we like
Well,
riding mountains.
I follow a few like that. That's kind of how I find people and stuff to talk about. Is I follow as many Facebook groups, like from Newfoundland to British Columbia, And you see the odd group, and they'll post a route of the run they're going to do that weekend, and you know it's going to be spectacular, right?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah,
The more the merrier, right?
Dopey
yeah,
tried
yeah.
it. Highway 1A or Highway 16. That's it.
Yeah.
Those are the big ones. See, I never made it any further than Vancouver and up to Whistler, and you know,
That's
even
not
the,
hard.
but even the drive up to Whistler in a car in the middle of winter was nice.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Mhm,
it can be pretty mild, so
Yeah.
sometimes it's snowy, but
Yeah.
Just watching what they do out there. See, a lot of everything's different, right? They're pulling them trees up and doing logging with the helicopters and all that. I
Yep.
don't understand how that'd be money making with a helicopter, but hey, that's what I watch them doing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
True enough.
Do they still got that big tree on Stanley Park you can drive through?
Yeah.
Or did it go?
I don't know. I can't remember. There was a big one there. I haven't been to Vancouver and Stanley Park in a long time, but there was a giant tree you could drive through. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd have to check.
The one guy, he insisted that was part of our itinerary during that week I was out there.
Yeah.
You got to check out the tree.
The trees are pretty freaking big out here, so yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they stop cutting them all down.
Yeah, that's the other thing, right? It's not so good.
Oh, see, these guys are on it. Dopey said that if you put tinfoil on the exhaust during the oil change, you don't get as much oil on you.
That's true.
There you go. That's
Yeah, you can do that too. Or you can just wipe it off.
Yeah.
I like that tip though. That's good.
That's a good tip
You
though.
know?
Yeah,
Or you get some 303 brake clean. All right, you just spray the exhaust out, just wash it
I think
off.
tinfoil is great for everything. I really do.
well, yeah, and that's the thing. Sometimes when you spill oil on the exhaust, it takes a while to get that smell out, right?
Yeah, and
It does.
burns and it's not
That's right.
great.
But
Yeah.
I mean, you just warm her up for a few minutes, and that exhaust pipe will heat up good. It'll get rid of it real quick.
And you knew the highways we were talking about too, 1A or Highway 16.
Yep. Clearly,
Oh.
Dopey has been riding around these places.
Yeah, man. Or he's from there.
Cool.
That could be. He could be from BC. I don't know. That's cool. Well, that's what I mean. That's why I wanted to make sure, for whatever reason, I that we were doing live so we could know if people are paying attention and watching and listening to whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
What else you guys got going on down there? What kind of old bike? Oh yeah, you do repairs, right?
Yeah, we had a 72 Norton in recently, and that was pretty cool. This client, he had restored the whole thing. It was beautiful, but he was having trouble with the carburation, so dog helped him out. But it was gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I mean, this guy must have invested like 40 grand in this thing.
On your
It was an 850 Norton, and it was one of the very few that actually had an electric starter on it, which is really rare.
There's their Facebook page, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can go right on, and if you're from that area, you got some hats and stuff. Oh, yeah.
Merchandise too. So like,
Yeah.
You got some merch.
Yeah, we got hoodies and
forgot to mention that. Yeah.
and stuff like that. We got little medallions for keys and stuff
Yeah.
like that if people want to pick up.
We
It's really
also
cool.
are occasionally selling used motorcycles because some people just want us to fix them up and sell them. So if you're around the area and you're looking for a used motorcycle, I post it on our website. So check it out.
That's fair.
Yeah.
And this is the one that got my eye. Hey, where do you get them gremlin bells?
The Gremlin bells?
Yeah, you can get them anywhere. You can get them at Weavers.
Yeah, we get them at there's
We
a
get
place
them
called
from
Weavers
Weavers.
here.
Yeah, and you just tie one to the bottom of your bike, and then just,
But you have to be gifted it. That's
Yeah,
the only
but
way
you
it
can't-
works.
So you have to gift one to somebody and hope that they return the favor.
that's right. The
Yeah.
only way it'll work is if someone gives you one.
Apparently they're supposed to even put it on the motorcycle, but
That's right.
yeah.
It's a superstitious stuff, but it works.
Yeah. We had
Yeah.
these clients make us these cute little shop gremlins because dog is constantly under the impression that his tools go missing. So we have shop gremlins. So these clients made us these little like voodoo doll gremlin guys. And so we promoted their craft fair because we thought
Yeah.
they were pretty cool.
Yeah, we get these little things. They're pretty cute, actually. We also have no.
What? No. I don't know what you're talking
Okay.
about.
Oh, there he is. He's stealing it on you, dog.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've actually got another friend of mine. She lives up in She calls it Yuki. Is that Eucalypt?
Yeah, it could be
Yep.
Eucalypt.
Euclid. Yep.
She was driving a ship for a while. I don't know what she was doing, but she was the captain of a ship. And that's where I met her, is through the motorcycle community. You always meet the coolest people through the motorcycle community.
Yeah.
You do. Meet a lot,
There are
a lot of
definitely
great
some good groups on Vancouver Island. People that there's like Bike Nights Victoria, and they do a different place every week. And there's a pretty big community here.
Yeah, there is.
Um,
It's huge, and we meet so many awesome people in the motorcycle
Yeah.
community. You know,
Yeah.
that's what we're doing.
That's like I say, that's kind of what got me going. I wrote a book and thought I was going to do this to promote the book, and then I started doing it. I thought I really like this stuff, right?
That's cool.
So that's, and I was in a club years ago, and unfortunately I had to sell my last bike this summer, but it doesn't mean I won't get my next bike, because I always do.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, we've had a lot of people that actually they really like the name the Dogs Hogs because it just flows.
well, that's why I thought that, with the Hagen, I thought, is it only about Harleys or is it about everything? So
Anything with
It's
two,
anything.
anything with 2 or 3 wheels. I'm not particularly crazy about the 3 wheels,
Or
but the 2
maybe
wheels.
4 in the case of a quad.
Yeah, that's a quad. You know,
Yeah,
we get quads. We do.
Yep. So that's
there's
one
a little bike for sale.
Yeah.
That's one of our machines we have up for sale.
little KLR.
KLR
Right,
650. It's very clean.
You got it shining up good, don't you?
The owner put a
Mhm.
lot of money into it. He said, and we know the owner quite well. He's a great guy. And he just said, get rid of it.
Yeah, he just wanted us to
Is
sell
that
it.
one of them tall ones?
It's pretty tall.
It's pretty
Yeah,
tall.
it's really tall.
Yeah.
My brother had a tall one that he claims that was made for riding in the desert. So it's really tall.
Maybe that's true. I don't know.
Maybe,
That's
I don't
cool.
know. All I know is that with my crappy knees, I need a step ladder to get on the damn
Yeah, I
thing.
can't. I'm only 5'4", 5'.
No, I mean, I'm not a
5'3".
small guy. There's that 850 Norton.
It's a good looking bike, eh?
That's right. About 40 grand invested in that thing. And it's the only one that had an electric starter.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They never came with electric starter. They only built a few of them with electric starter. This is a very rare chicken.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
He specialized in refurbishing Norton specifically.
Yeah.
It was just that was his jam. But
Yeah.
But you can kick a Norton,
but this
you know.
Electric start. I
Yeah.
mean, the problem with Norton is if you have to kick them, they usually send you over the bars anyway.
Oh, so David's here from British Columbia, too.
Hey, David.
Oh, so what do we got here from Dopey? Dopey said he went from Northwestern Ontario to Edmonton twice this summer on a GSXR.
Oh, that is a commitment. That's good.
That's some riding, eh?
Yeah.
The GSXR is more of a lean over bike, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
Like, hurt your
that's
wrist,
still one of those bikes where you turn her on and say goodbye.
Probably just got there in no time flat. That's why.
Yeah, and it's a nice flat highway going across there too, isn't it?
You really go, and screaming's not an option on that thing. So
Yeah, Gixxers are fun.
And David's in Richmond, BC.
Hey,
Hey,
David.
David, thanks for coming, bro.
Let's see.
What
like
we
you
got?
said,
Yeah,
he says whatever it
Couple of
takes to ride,
Can-Ams,
that's
riders.
cool.
I totally agree. Like, no discrimination against people on 3 wheels, really. Like,
No.
it's
No,
what difference does it make?
whatever-
You're having fun.
if that's all
I
they
can't help it. I always laugh at him when I pull up beside him at a light.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that they're on 3 wheels because maybe they have a physical dependency.
Right.
Wheels,
Maybe
they
there-
can't
yeah,
balance
there
a
could
bike,
be all
whatever.
kinds of
I don't
things.
know.
And not everybody can afford a Harley trike.
Well, I'll tell
Yeah.
you something. The day I can't get my ass on 2 wheels, that's the day I give up riding.
But I know a cat here in my city, and he was really young. Before I even knew him, he was a construction guy, and something went wrong on the site, and it snapped his spine. And he always had those 2 things. He wouldn't go in a chair. So, and he was a motorcycle guy to his heart. He's still around. And he always had a bike with a sidecar.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are cool.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's a couple
Yeah.
guys that run around here in Victoria, like, and you know them because there's only a couple of them, and they ride with their dogs, and they have
The
little
dog-
I love that, man.
German swastika helmet on. Snoopy glasses, and
There's
a little kerchief on.
there's one guy that if he stops, the dog starts to howl because he wants to keep going.
He wants to go nice. And for some reason, I think I can get just the one dog I'm petting right now. I think I can get him to sit still in the sidecar.
That's a challenge.
Well, I think Allie could get her dog Remy,
Oh, maybe
the
I don't
chocolate
know.
lab, to get her in the sidecar. Maybe
She gets so distracted though.
I did an interview with a guy. The recording is on the page, named Wayne, and he's got a scooter. It looks like one of the Italian scooters, but it's not. But it's got a sidecar, and he takes his dog everywhere.
That's cool.
And he's taken that concept, and he raises money for the SPCA and the food bank. And he's a really cool guy, really active. So I did an interview with him too, and he wrote kids books. And the doggy on the motorcycle is the main character.
Oh, that's
cool, cool,
Smart, eh?
Yeah.
very smart, very smart.
And I hope he will. I hope he does really well with it. You know, he's done a few different books. They look pretty cool. Yeah, I should pull him up. Yeah, but that other guy with the sidecar, he's been doing it so long. He got one of those pounders that curves your metal for you.
Yeah,
And he made a few of his own sidecars
right.
and sold them to guys.
There's been a couple people out here thinking about creating a sidecar business on the West Coast because they're not easy to find.
Yeah, this bike you're seeing right here, this Suzuki Volusia 800.
What is that?
It's a Volusia 800 Suzuki.
Volusia, never heard of that one.
Well, they're kind of like a Boulevard
Like a
in a way.
Boulevard.
It is
Okay.
And we just sold this to a gentleman that was looking for a bike, and he's really happy with it. And this one came to us from an elderly gentleman that babied it and took really good care of it, but found out that he was in his advanced years, could no longer ride.
Yeah.
So we
get a lot of those.
We took it over for him, and we found a buyer for it, and then that's it.
Nice. I think it's pretty cool. Well, you guys got some promo videos going too.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I do all of those.
Are they a pain in the butt to do? I've still never done one and I liked it.
I personally really enjoy it because that's my background is in design and film editing and all that kind of stuff. So I love doing this kind of stuff.
Looks good.
But yeah, thank you.
If you
But
look at
it can be a pain though.
if you look at this guy, you'll notice that the kickstand was on the wrong side of the bike. That's because he's facing a mirror.
Yeah. So give it
Yeah,
away.
right. Because when I speak on my camera, it's a mirror, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we do some try to put out some promos and stuff. We do most of our advertising through social media because it's pretty effective and most people are connected through social media, so it works.
Yep.
Oh, I like it. Well, that's something like you say, you can put it on any one of those platforms, right? It'll fit on TikTok. It'll fit on the whole thing, right?
Yeah, it kind of just depends on the audience a little bit, right? So TikTok is more where we put the kind of instructional videos. Facebook is a little bit more promotional. It just depends, right?
Right. Well, no, you have to use them for the correct thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what one of the guys who was in our chat at the start, Mike, he's got his own channel called Insane Wheels, and he does the biker news stuff. And he was one that explained how to use all these platforms to me properly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
'Cause YouTube's a search engine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're all good for different things, and it can that part I find a little bit exhausting because it's like, okay, I posted it, now I have to post it in all these other places. It can be a little tiring, but that's just the way it is now.
Me too, because I'm still on the low end of the sub, so I'm not getting zilcho for doing it. But the only way to get there is to keep doing it.
Exactly. Yeah, it can be exhausting.
So it's a catch-22.
Yeah, one of your viewers here, David Gooding, said the Suzuki Volusia used to be called an intruder. Yes, it was, but it's not so intruding anymore. So they quickly changed the name.
It's a nice bike to ride. It's smooth.
It is. It's a nice bike to ride. I don't like the bars on it. It feels like you're, manhandling a steer or a cow or something like that.
It's okay. It's not bad.
Yeah.
What was that little Suzuki made back in the day that was a one longer?
Oh,
Savage?
yeah, there was a Savage. Yep. Yeah, I think it was a 500cc.
Yeah, I remember way before I ever knew anything about motorcycles. I saw one at a bike show and I thought, oh, you'll buy one of those things. Thankfully, I never did. Because I don't think 500cc would have moved me quick enough to stay interested.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah, that's true. But you know, those 501 lungers, you know, they had a lot of thump to them.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they had quite a bit of thump to them.
Yeah, it depends on the machine.
It depends. Yeah,
Yeah.
depends on the machine.
So you do some hog fabs. Well, I guess you're an engineer. You can do any fab you want, can't you?
Pretty much.
Yeah, we've done a lot of like custom modifications on exhaust systems, a lot of handlebars.
Yeah.
Dog's really good at handlebars.
Yeah.
So if a lot of times if people have a something that they want, we'll always try to see if we can make it first. One person needed his what was it? His saddlebag like his rig kind of adjusted just because it didn't fit right with some of his aftermarket parts. So Dog got in there and basically made it fit just by making up something.
Yeah.
Move the tabs around or whatever.
Yeah.
Hey, oxyacetylene works wonders.
Yeah, man. Well, and the grinder and the little MIG welder, you can do anything. Put a tab wherever you want it.
And
Yeah,
it's
pretty
a
much.
great way to give like an old bike a facelift. You know, you might have a really old bike where you just do some little modifications to it, and it's like brand new. It's nice.
Yeah, we've got on our job list, we have a V45 Magna that's been sitting for over 20 years, and
Yeah, we get those
the
too.
guy is getting us to bring her back to life.
Yeah.
So that's gonna
20 years, eh?
that's a long time.
Are you going to tear it all the way down?
Yeah, probably gonna pull the engine, drop it.
The dog wants to say something, I guess.
Yeah.
Come on, girl. Be quiet, honey.
Huh.
Silly
Yeah,
puppy.
no, I'll pull the engine and I'll do it up.
She's a prick. Okay, you got her, buddy?
Yeah, she's always peacing.
I know. It's her turn. She barks every time. Thanks, sweetie. Nice. He made it. So go ahead, dog. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yeah, just we have this V45 that we need to take apart, put
Yeah.
it back together again.
Yeah, bring some, just put some life back in her. You
So,
want?
what year of bike was it? It was sitting 20 years?
I think it's an 85. I think
Yeah,
it's
I
an
think so.
85.
Yeah. We get a lot of people that decide to ride their bikes again after 16 to 20 years.
They basically called them a VF, a V 750 or whatever, but
Yeah.
it's just a V45, and it's just that big V4 that's in there. Then they had the big brother that was a V65, which was 1100cc, and that was a V4 as well. But that thing was, that blast you to the moon.
But they're worth resurrecting. Like they're cool. They've got a lot of character. They've got a lot of power usually, but they just need to be revived. So it's just worth it.
Anything that we've had so far. Oh, there I am again.
It's another one of that.
There I is again.
Yep.
Killing the dirt bike trails.
I don't think that was him.
No. Oh, well. That's what you got editing for.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, we just do we do a little advertisement, and it just, it really helps people understand,
Mhm.
No, I think it's cool, man.
That's us working in the mobile rig, trying to get it cleaned up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But there's just so much.
I swear I keep posting. It's almost done, and like it never is. But it's almost done though. I swear.
Well, you gotta decide how much stuff you want to take with you, right?
Well, not only that, but in the way I figure it is that the mobile unit has to do at least as much as the stationary shop can do. Minus not including rebuilds, but
To make it viable.
that's right.
Oh, to be able to do exactly what you can do there, you want to be able to do mobily.
Yeah, less rebuilds. Rebuilds have to be done in the shop.
Yeah.
But
you got it sorted so you can do a tire change and that sort of stuff.
we do a tire change in there. We do oil changes, spark plugs, tune-ups,
Cool,
cars.
great job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got a small solvent bath in it. It's got everything we need.
Oil reclamation tank.
Yeah.
All the shelves fold up and down.
Yeah, it's got a tank in it underneath the truck that we got a special suction
There's
system
a
that
vacuum in
we can
there.
pull
That's cool.
scalding hot oil right out of the engine and just dumps it into the holding tank underneath the truck, which is good for about 20 oil changes. So it makes it really easy. Eh?
That's actually, I hope you have a lot of success with that because it'll be a little more fun to get the stuff out of the shop.
That's right.
Yeah.
Plus, the thing is that we can also take the rig to motorcycle shows.
Right.
Yeah.
Drag racing events. There's so many things.
You know,
we're like excited to, you know, introduce about like showing people everything inside, because it's actually really cool, all the stuff that, you know, we've put into it.
Yeah,
It's gonna be really
it
neat.
is. It's got two generators. It's the smaller generator. It's got a 3,000 watt IS inside the actual, what do they call, mother's attic. It's all custom built in there. Then we have a 10 kilowatt underneath the truck on the driver's side, which will run arc welders, plasma cutters, stuff like that we have on board as well. But
Wow.
having the more power is needed, you know, to run stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I had a food truck and my oven needed the 10,000
Yeah,
Jenny. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. You need to have the poop to do it, you know.
And then I started switching to inverters because they seem to work a little bit better. I like the
Yeah.
inverter technology.
Yeah, I have inverters too. This is right here. This is a rare chicken. This here is a Virago, but it's a 980 from Europe. It was a very rare one because it was enclosed chain drive, but it was an actual 80. And
So that's not a direct drive. That's not a drive shaft on it.
that doesn't have a drive shaft, no. And this was a real rare chicken, and we picked it up dirt cheap. And I poked the starter motor in there and gave it a battery and cranked it over, and bang, away she went.
Yeah, it's
Very cool.
very unique bike that we kind of just stumbled upon.
Yeah, they're really quite rare.
Yeah.
Did you move it on, or are you holding on to it?
Oh no, we're hanging
We
on.
still
to
got
that
some
one.
work to do on it still.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna do a resto like that
yeah.
red one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The plan is to make it look really pretty.
Well, you may, and how do you clean up these chrome casings after they kind of go whitish like that?
Yeah, well, generally with something like that, you have to pull the engine.
Is it a polish?
No, it's not a polish. You have to pull the engine, yank it apart, and those parts have got to be cleaned individually
Yeah, like sand
and
blasted.
repainted, sandblasted,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Well, bead blasting,
Bead
not
blasted.
sandblasting.
Right.
But
So there's a lot to it after they've kind of went that color, eh?
Right, there's a lot to it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of rust on this bike, but it is salvageable.
It is very. Well,
Mhm.
the fact that she runs
Mhm.
is everything right there.
But and the fact that it's rare, and I, like you were saying, I've seen a lot of people in the different motorcycle groups, and then they're buying not just old Harleys, they're buying old whatevers.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be a Harley to be old.
No.
No, like
no.
I think there's only a couple of them, those
That's right,
European
yeah.
ones
There's
over
only-
here
yeah.
in North America.
And this, and then that one there, and then the bike underneath that is Allie's little 250 Ninja.
Yeah.
That she fell in love with, and we still have it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just really like Ninjas. They're a really like durable bike. So we have this whole video on YouTube of like we took this Ninja. It had its fairings had holes in it and everything. So we completely refurbished it and painted it orange, and it gave it lights on the inside. Like it was a pretty cool custom job.
Nice looking bike.
Yeah, it's cute. It's just a little putt.
It doesn't have a lot of power, but you know that little bike there, she'll rev it to 15,000. That's her red line. So you know, I mean, though you got those. I mean, you know, you get her, she'll move.
Yeah. So I was on this video talking about how we changed out the exhaust and giving a little bit of information about what the different exhaust systems do.
That muffler weighs almost as much as Allie does.
Yeah, that we took the old muffler off. It was like 40 pounds.
Just full of crap, eh?
Yeah,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
just so heavy. So changed it up a little bit and made it kind of cool. So just kind of showing what we can do anyway.
Well, see, that was something I never understood until I got that, like the 110. So I had these little shotgun pipes on it because I was an asshole and I like to set off car alarms and make the cops write me tickets.
Yeah, why not? Eh?
And then after about, $1,000 worth of tickets, I went and talked to my mechanic, and for the same $1,000, he put on a set of 2-in-1 headers, and the bike actually went faster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
there's a lot to be
yeah,
said about how that
a
works.
2-in-1 header can actually increase your power as well.
Yeah, it was weird, eh?
Yeah.
I figured let it breathe.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, it's kind of how it works. We started off doing our maintenance courses online first to kind of test the waters and see how that was, and that was pretty successful. But ultimately, you kind of need the hands-on experience. So we decided to just take it back into the shop and just do these small little in-person groups. But this was just a way to kind of see if people were interested in learning, and they were. So that's good.
Well, then that's cool because then you can set up a camera and do both at the same time.
Yeah,
much, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
depends on the way people want to learn, but most people want to be there in person doing it by hand. So we thought, okay.
No, well, it's same as anything that's mechanical, and this needs to be working properly. In order for that to work properly, you got to see it. You can't just visualize everything.
No.
Yeah,
True.
yeah.
See it, touch it, feel it, and do it wrong the first time. You know.
It's kind of hard to explain a sound, right? You kind of have to experience it.
Yeah, no, I even the Facebook page is a cool page.
Mhm.
What's this one? We got some underlights.
This was kind of we were working on Goblin and then just sort of messing around with Goblin's the name of the 250 Ninja. Messing around with some low
Oh,
light.
that's the same bike.
Yeah. It's kind of low fidelity, more of an art piece rather than anything, but just kind of having fun with it. Yeah, but there's a longer video that actually shows us like what
Is your Sportster on this anywhere?
it is not actually.
Actually, it is on there. If I
Is
was
it?
doing, I was doing the
Oh
smoke
right, I
show.
think you did a smoke
Yeah,
show on
I
there.
did a bit of a smoke show in the shop.
Okay, so yeah, this is the video where we take apart the Ninja because it was originally green.
That's the before picture.
Yeah, without its fairings, and then we kind of walk through the process of how we repainted it and cleaned it up, all that stuff. It was quite a long process, took a lot of months to do, but it was fun.
It was fun. Yeah,
Ooh.
pretty good.
So yeah, so you guys are in it for the. See that's I'm glad that we met because I can tell you guys are in it because you love bikes, right?
Yeah.
It's about the motorcycles and you're not snobby about what brand of motorcycle it is.
Well,
No.
it's
No.
about the bikes. It's about the people. It's about the environment.
Yeah, about getting that wind. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about the wind in the air, and with that little twist, you're just gonna have the smile's gonna go a little bigger.
Well,
Yeah, it
wind
doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you're riding something.
Wind therapy is important.
Yeah.
You tell I'm jonesing for a bike again.
We have used ones if you want.
Exactly. I'll come on down there. What a big process, eh? That's
Yeah.
cool.
That decal you see, that is a decal that Allie designed herself. She
Yeah.
does a lot of design work, and
Mhm.
we can make decals for people for their
Yeah.
whatever kind of decal they want for their bike or
So
whatever.
we put that on the 250 Ninja because we named it Goblin, so we gave it this kind of Goblin decal on the side of it, on the gas tank on both sides. But yeah, I do,
I like it.
So if anyone wants a custom decal, I can make one.
So you got the thing to set it up on the thing, and then it does the thing.
Mhm,
Yeah,
pretty
Well,
much.
does the thing.
I like all them things.
Yeah, the things work.
And you said you got a CNC machine too?
No, just a milling machine in the lathe. It's not a CNC machine.
Okay.
It's small, but it does a lot of little work for me. So it's nice to have a mill and a lathe and stuff like that.
You're not gonna go crazy like those chopper guys and make your own wheels and all that silly
No,
crap.
no, I'm not going to get into that. No.
That's cool stuff, though.
Yeah, no, that's not the thing.
Yeah.
It is cool stuff, but
Yeah.
for every you know how it is. You got to weigh it out, right? Is it going to be worth it? There's so many wheels you can just open a catalog and buy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like those guys are artists, I mean, they go to show and shines to show off their work, and I mean, I think it's just a completely different sector of motorcycle servicing. Like we repair things, they build art, and they're
Yeah, yeah. No, I think and both have their place. Right? Yeah. But everything's got its place when it comes to motorcycles. You don't just have to, have your mind set in one direction, right?
This one was
Yeah.
we're
I don't-
playing with AI.
Oh,
So I put into like an image generator on AI that was like a motorcycle under the tree for Christmas, and so I just thought I would post the weird shit that it gave me. Yeah.
is that even a motorcycle? That's an AI motorcycle.
According to AI, I was like, it just could never get it right.
I've never seen that before. I almost wish I didn't.
What is that? Why is that on our page? There's your
Yeah.
goblin again, yeah?
Yeah.
I think that's cool. So you take some photos and make some videos as you go. Like I say, there's different people doing all sorts of different things. I think all these social media things, if we all use them for whatever it is that's in our head, there's no set amount of things you can do or set subjects you can do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. I think so long as we all just kind of work as a community, it can be a good thing.
Yeah, it can be
Yeah.
really good. Just work together as a team. Everybody works together as a team.
Yeah, man, I dig it. So your classes fill up pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got quite a few people that are already signed up for them.
Yeah, that's where I want to be.
Yeah.
That's what we want to
We
be
took
too.
some time off last year to go to Hawaii, so I was like, bye.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
That was nice. It was nice to go.
Did you get to ride a bike on the beach like that guy?
No, we flew. They didn't have any cargo space for my Decker, so
Yeah,
It
we were
had-
thinking about renting a bike though.
Yeah,
Then it just didn't happen. But there's a lot of people that do ride over there.
we can. I rode back in my club days. I rode one of my brother's bike on the beach at Daytona. I didn't think, and it was hardpack. You didn't even notice you're on sand.
yeah,
Kind of like that guy's looking. He doesn't look like he's on anything mushy. You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know.
And another time, two of our guys flew their bikes to England and rode around England and stuff for
Mhm.
a week or two, something like that.
It'd be a really cool way to see the world. We had one client that he raves about doing that in Japan. He said it's like the best place to go ride up and down the islands of Japan on a motorcycle. He said he got a sidecar, I think for his wife or his kids.
Yeah.
And they just went, and it was like the best experience ever.
Because all those different motorcycle companies in Japan, they gotta have a ton of bikes on their roads out over there.
Yeah, I think it's hospitality in Japan is so great that you can just kind of skip around to different villages, and it's pretty easy to do. So it would be kind of cool.
There's that old FX we fixed up, resurrected.
Yeah, that bike, that video is up there specifically for its sound. Like it sounded amazing.
Yeah,
But what was the year? It was like 73 or something.
78.
Yeah.
The 78 FX.
Yeah.
78. Wow.
Yeah,
So it was a shovel, yeah?
yeah.
Yeah.
But she was different. It wasn't a shovel engine though. Someone took the shovel out of it and grafted in an Evo
Mhm.
into
Oh,
it. And so they put an Evo motor into it.
my very first bike was an FXR. I love that thing.
Yeah.
It's a nice
Well,
bike.
shovels are actually nice engines, but this one here, someone grafted an Evo into it, and we just had to fix that up. So it was interesting.
Anything for me with a Harley,
Hey,
I'm not
listen, that
riding
old
back.
girl, you start her up, and all you got was this potato.
Yeah, it was a nice
potato,
sound.
potato.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah, but we had to give it back to the client, unfortunately.
Does he still got her?
Yeah,
I
he
think
still
so,
has
yeah.
her.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. It's still getting rode anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she sat for a long time when he brought it to me, and it had all kinds of problems. I mean, the primary was just filled with water.
Oh.
Oh, it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
Yeah, it was bad.
But now it's not. So there we
But
go.
now she's good.
So you took everything apart for that baby.
Oh yeah, that
You
girl
had
was
no choice.
in pieces. That one.
Oh, and you do other stuff to the motorcycles, yeah?
yeah.
I do generators. A lot of stuff.
He
like
loves
that.
generators. I always try to push generators in the winter time because it's more generator time of year, and it's not so much motorcycle time of year. So
Right.
letting
Yeah.
people know we do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can't be sitting there looking at each other.
No, that's sold really quickly.
I had a crazy bad summer. I don't know why. But yeah, man, I was like, yo, what am I going to do? So yeah, you got to be busy.
You gotta
Yeah.
get a motorcycle. They keep-
Yeah, at least get a bike back on the road, It's
Yeah.
killing me. But no, man, I like it. I like everything you guys are doing and all that good stuff.
Yeah, thanks.
Well, we just want to be a help to the community. That's it.
Yeah.
For the
Now
brothers, the brothers and sisters that are riding, we just want to let them know that they're not stuck dealing with the dealers.
Yeah, and just kind of make
Right.
motorcycle riding like a vibrant community thing, like it's always been, instead of
Good.
just
So,
run by
yeah.
corporations,
Yeah.
brands.
So you guys are going to get back in the community spirit of it, like it used to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like that's how it's fun.
I mean, the thing is that we're not. A lot of people say, they'll say to us, "Oh, so you guys are thinking of going big?" No, we don't want to go big.
No, not too big.
Yeah.
Let's
No.
keep it
Except for maybe square footage of the shop, but that's it.
great.
Just increase the square footage of the shop, but use the kiss principle. Keep it simple.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
and the thing is that if you stay small, then you can foster the good communication and,
Yeah.
and helping the public and brothers and sisters who
Yeah.
ride. If you're too big, then they get forgotten about.
It's kind of the magic of being a small business. I mean, like when you're a small business, as you know, it's a struggle, it's difficult, but you kind of connect with other small businesses. Like here in Sydney, there's maybe one other motorcycle shop, and we collaborate with him sometimes.
Yeah.
Because if
Really-
he has too much work, he gives it to us,
Yeah.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
And there's motorcycle rental places, and they're always like, hey, if you need a trailer or whatever, we can help you out. It's really nice.
Yeah. So I mean, we've made some contacts with some people out there, good quality people,
Mhm.
and we just sort of watch each other's back.
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, you don't have to take on everything on yourself. You know what I mean? Like I was mentioning the weekly rides and the charity stuff and blah, blah, blah. You don't have to do it all by yourself. But if you got a few people doing it together,
Right.
it becomes fun
Yeah.
and it's not so intensive.
Yeah, we can kind of disperse the responsibilities a little bit, but it's happening. I think it's working.
And you guys keep them rolling. You keep the machines running.
Keep the machines running.
That is the point.
That's the point.
And if it's an old guy, you bring it back to life.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Pretty
I dig it.
Like just breathe the magic back into it.
No, man, that's what it's all about. I'm glad I contacted you and we got to have a talk today, man.
We're
Really
Very good.
grateful
to
to
meet
be
you.
here.
It's a really cool channel that you have. You love the focus because, like you were saying before, media surrounding motorcycles is either like crashes or clubs or just kind of like kids showing off going too fast. So then a little bit more of the local community stuff. So that's
Not
really
only
cool.
that, the thing is that we also get to meet young kids too, and
Sure.
and we can and maybe throw a little enlightenment their way.
Yeah. Well, I was driving around in my service van yesterday, watching a guy learning how to do wheelies down a city street with traffic. I'm like, yeah. I'm always like, where did this wheelie obsession come from? And it's not good for your front forks.
Yeah.
No.
The best way to learn how to do wheelies is find yourself an old trail bike, get it into the bush, put on some good padding, and work at it.
But not on the street.
But not on the street.
Traffic.
Road rash. Road rash hurts.
Yeah.
Believe
It's
me.
like a bugger.
Yeah, it's a bugger. It really is.
It's not attractive in any way, shape, or form.
No.
And then some.
I wonder because I've actually found postings on Facebook. I was thinking about contacting them. They got people giving lessons how to do wheelies on the street bikes. I'm in the same frame of mind. Want to do a wheelie, get a dirt bike and an enduro, and get out in the field
And
do whatever.
well,
That makes more sense.
Because if you're hitting the mud, you're not going to hurt so much.
Yeah.
Concrete. You.
It's not forgiving.
No. Much.
Strange times.
Different strokes for different folks. So.
Then again, I'd probably go on one of those velodromes once for the thrill. The
Mhm.
ball?
Oh, yeah, that would be kind of fun. I wouldn't mind trying that out, just to see what it's like.
Yeah, you would.
I would.
Just for the hell of it. Just to say, yeah, I did that. It didn't work out too good, but I did it.
I'd be concerned of how you stop, and then not flip up.
Not be upside down. Yeah. Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about your sporty.
Don't stop upside down. Stop
Yeah.
down.
She's a 2005 Roadster, 1550. Souped it up quite a bit.
Yeah,
You can thank this guy for that. But yeah, totally stock on the outside, but it's kind of one of those sleepers. So once you get going, it really
you look at her,
goes.
she just looks like a regular 1200 until you hit the throttle. Then all you see is dust.
Very cool.
I do like
I love
vintage
it.
bikes, so
You see dust and a lot of noise.
very noisy bike.
Very noisy.
Yeah, and I love noise, but man, this bike is.
I mean, this thing is like she's punching like 13.5 to 1 compression ratio. That's way up there.
Holy moly, eh?
She's
Yeah.
got auto detent and everything on it. So when she's hot and you hit the starter motor, if those detents don't work, the starter goes, "You want me to do what?"
I had a bike that do that. I didn't even know you could put them buttons in to take the compression out.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of my buddies got one on his street car. I'm like, what? What a good idea.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. She
After
doesn't
all
like
these years.
cornering too well, but you go straight and you go fast, and it's very exhilarating.
Yeah. She
But
does.
sporties are easy to ride anyway.
Yeah.
Not when
But
you
at
got
that speed,
very easy to ride, but not with that much power. No,
It
it's
changes
just
things a little bit.
turns it into a bit of an animal.
and the whole thing about motorcycles that they teach you at the start of your motorcycling thing is they're meant to stand up, right?
Mhm.
So the
Yeah.
faster you're going, the more they want to stand up.
Yeah. The more you give it throttle, the straighter it is.
And
Yeah.
the more the front wheel comes off the ground from what
Yeah.
is called the aerodynamic effect.
Put
See,
these spoilers on your motorcycle.
Then you get to do them wheelies.
That's right.
Yeah.
Involuntarily.
I don't know. I think some bikes are just not really supposed to be wheelies,
Yeah.
but that's my own opinion.
I think some of those Japanese bikes are balanced that way too, so
Mhm.
that they come up on purpose.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, but don't do it on a gold wing. Like, don't.
Yeah, no. I had a VMAX for a while there, and that thing, you couldn't get it to do a wheelie, but man, I'll tell you, would she go.
Yeah,
She was a little too front end heavy, you know.
yeah,
But-
yeah, yeah.
The chunky bikes.
But boy, would she pull a smoke show. I'm like, holy crap. You go through a tire in no time at all.
Nice.
Yeah.
Should have taken her down the old drag strip. Well, see, that's the cool thing about your mobile thing, right?
Yeah.
You got runs that happen every week.
That's right.
You got racing activities either on the go straight track or around in circles and dirt bikes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
You got lots of potential out there.
it is.
Yeah, there's a lot of dirt bikers a little bit farther up islands, like Souk
Yep.
area. There's a lot of dirt jumps and everything. So there's lots of diversity here.
Yeah.
And motorcycle training facilities.
Oh, yeah.
Some of that, yeah.
Yeah, they got a few of those too.
They got to keep them moving too.
Yeah.
Nothing worse than having a class full of students and only a few bikes work.
Yeah.
enough, yeah.
And I always recommend those courses. I want to take the next couple ones too. You know what I mean? Even though I've been riding for a million years.
It never
Yeah.
hurts. No,
Right.
I recently took one. It was like an advanced or experienced rider course. And like it's not really anything you don't already know, but it's like you're now being forced to put it into practice, like really tight donuts and turns and like doing really tight zigzags with cones and stuff. It's kind of fun. And it also just
Yeah.
makes you like get better, you know. It doesn't
Right, because then when you're out on the street, you have to do that maneuver.
yeah.
Yeah.
You don't panic. You just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Because God knows everybody's got a phone in their car. They're not looking for us anymore.
Mm,
They're just not. So don't expect that guy to see you.
no.
You know, if he's on the crossroad and you're zipping by him, don't expect him not to pull out in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's someone once said to me, like, if you're on a motorcycle and you're in traffic and maybe a car is stopped and they're about to move, watch their tires, not their eyes.
Right.
You always see the tire move before, you know, the rest of the car is moving. So I thought that was kind of a neat tip.
It's not a bad tip.
Yeah.
We've been running like an hour and 22. See, that's what I love about these interviews. The time flies by and we have a good time and it was good. Was there anything you guys wanted to mention that we didn't get?
Not really. No, I think we pretty much said it all.
Covered it, yeah.
Other
You're
than
all
fact-
good?
all the fact is I'm hungry and I want to go eat.
Well, there you go. So then, let's cut it here. I think that we had a good time.
Yep.
A
This
good
was
chat.
great. Yeah.
This is good for us, and we really appreciate your
Your time.
and your effort to putting into us.
Yeah,
I'm
and
really
that-
grateful.
You're out here, you know,
Thank you.
doing the hustle. Like, you know, you're not getting paid much for this. You're just doing it because you love it. That's the best.
I'm just doing it.
Yeah.
Just doing it. I appreciate you guys agreeing to come on for an interview.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime, you know, stay in touch.
Yeah. Stay in touch with us. Feel free to drop us a line. Even the
Absolutely.
occasional insult helps.
All right. And tell whoever you know that watches YouTube to check out the channel.
Yep.
And you guys got a YouTube channel?
We
Yep.
do. Yep. It's the Dogs Hogs.
The Dogs Hogs? Okay. So they can search out on YouTube and they'll find you.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Good.
will.
And same thing on Facebook, Instagram.
yeah,
All the same.
TikTok.
Allie
Very,
takes care of all that stuff.
I do.
very cool.
But yeah,
Well, your videos look good.
thank you.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it's hard
And
work.
we thank you.
All right. Thanks, Doug.
All
And
your,
thanks,
all
Allie.
your audience as well.
Yeah.
And thanks everyone for joining us, David and Mike and Steve and everybody. It's always appreciated, guys. Love, love, love you.
All right.
All right. Thanks again.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Very cool, man. All right. So that's it. We're all done here for another interview on Biker News Canada. Again, thanks everyone who came and joined and come in the chat and all that. It means the world to me. I'm just going to keep on doing these things and keep building this channel. And that's what we do. We'll see y'all tomorrow. I don't know if I have time to do Mike's morning show, but I'll try to. All right. Good night. Love y'all.